So, I get to say goodbye to 2025. This year in the front, which this half of this gets no sun at all. This half will get some sun late in the day. This is a coleus I actually propagated from last year. It's one of my favorites. I think it's this really nice looking plant. I'm not sure why I get like almost an inverted color on that. That I don't understand. Three Rexes that are the really hardy kind that are made to grow outside. I did not plant this. That's reseeded. The Torrenia, two kinds of Torrenia, they always do just fine. There's sun or shade, and I'm going to do a whole video on those guys. I stuck some New Guineas under here, or excuse me, just regular bedding impatiens under there. Still limited by the Japanese maple. Here's my begonia bed, which actually this is the worst it's ever done. And I mean, look at how bad. Really bad. A lot of things bad. This is a New Guinea. It's hardly any bigger than when I put it in the ground 4 months ago. Just absolutely terrible. This one is probably the best. It's a slow grower anyways. It's a real cool, real pretty, these. That's another one of the hard, really hardy ones. He does fine, but it's half the size it should be. This is an amazing looking leaf, but again, it just hardly grew. Part of that was our spring was so chilly. It took them forever to get started. And I mean well to the end of May, below normal temperatures. This tuberous started out great, then really suffered, and now it's coming back in the fall. It's really nice. I really like the colors. Yellow to peach to whatever you want to call it. He'd come back real nice. This is a standard New Guinea there. There's my favorite hydrangea. Sorry about that. Another one. This one I didn't get. I've already pulled out a lot of the hypostases. These are the polka dot plants. I don't know if I'm going to do those anymore. So these are the two sun patients. They're still not ready for full-time sun. I just don't buy it. The time I tried it before, they just fried. It's just too much. Okay, this was a new introduction of coleus this year. They're too tall for me. 36 inches, I just don't want a coleus this big. Here's another one of these. Isn't it beautiful? That's just a beautiful plant. That was a new Alstroemeria this year. See the ruffles around the leaves, or the petals there? Yep, now those do very good in the first half of the season. Then they struggle a little bit in the extreme heat we get, and now later in the season, he's looking pretty good, but he's not getting enough sun, see? Just not enough sun. So I might just put a third one in the middle and then forget about trying to, put anything else in there, but they both come back looking real nice. So I pulled out a couple of coleus there. There's a hot-blooded lantana. This was a new ageratum that's supposed to, specifically attract monarchs. And first of all, it's too big. It's just too big. I don't want something that goes that big. Second of all, it did, usually I don't get monarchs here until they start passing through in the fall. I did get a few more this summer, but definitely when they pass through the fall, this is not what they land on. They land on my orange lantana over there. They prefer that by far to this plant that's supposed to be for them. Egyptian starflower, my favorite color. It just doesn't get enough sun there, so I'm struggling a little bit. I've already cleaned out some of the planters. This guy came back nice. This is the dwarf lantana that I just love. He looks like that the entire season, just constantly blooming. And these are not, see, there's only a couple of, this is a seed pod. This is not. This is essentially a sterile lantana. All of a sudden, this verbena, which I planted halfway through the season, starts looking better. I don't know. I kind of resurrected the petunia, but they're coming out pretty soon. That's another dwarf, but this one doesn't look anywhere near as good. I'm not even going to keep that one. These are two new that I just planted, so they will not survive the winter here, but I'm going to put it under the tarp that I put the orange ones in with a heater, and I bet those things are going to make it. That was a new Coreopsis last year, and obviously it looked a lot better. I just took a scissors when it got too big, and I just cut off the outer, and it didn't hurt it. It literally didn't hurt it at all. So you can see I started pulling stuff out. I'm going to put pansies in there for the winter. And here's my, favorite lantana. But you can see it already doesn't look right. It's just not getting enough sun anymore. These do produce, the seeds. See, I didn't hardly prune those at all. There's my giant elephant ears. This is a butterfly house. Never had one before. I said, you know what? Why don't I try one of those next year? So we'll see how it goes. Some guy that's a big one too. It's fun to watch. Just getting this, probably the last leaf I'm going to get this season. See, once they get old, then they start bending over, so I'm going to hack that one out. Cigar plant. This is, you know, the blanket flower. And I like this because this doesn't get big. It's not going to get that much bigger than that. But anyways, I'll come out of here. I'll probably put pansies in here. Here you can see it's a total mess because I just ripped this entire bed out. I had 2 new perennials. And this guy's just getting new growth. So I'm really looking forward to him next year. See this dahlia? The flowers look nice, but it just falls all over the place. Well, why don't you put it in a hoop and everything? I can do that, but I'm bad about something that needs maintenance throughout the whole season. So I usually pass on that. See, again, here's another Alstroemeria that's looking great later in the season. And I'm not sure why this bed is, but this bed is absolutely fantastic for coleus. So this is another Albrighto, and look at the thing. And this is another one of those I just showed you, and this is twice the size. Same plant. More of these hardy outdoor Rexes. I did not plant this Torina. Those things easily reseed all over them. That's a coleus. Now see, none of these coleus did I plant. Those are all seeded themselves. So maybe I'll try to do more coleus in here since nothing else works. I mean, that's a hardy cyclamen right there. So is that. See, these guys bloom in September, October. Yeah. Little hardy cyclamen. There's another one right there, a teeny one. That's the Lenten rose, which, you know, don't look great except in the spring. There's another hardy cyclamen. So this bed is probably the worst it's ever looked, but here's a couple of coleus. This New Guinea is very tropical looking, and he's actually looking better than he did a month ago. Standard Persian shield looked nowhere near as good as normal. Okay, here's another Egyptian starflower. And these, see, there's 2 kinds. This guy right here is a lighter purple than that, but these I planted from seed. They're too big. They don't look bad. I just can't abide a plant that big. Nah, it's just, unless you've got, you know, it's set apart. And by the way, none of these white and pink Torina I planted either. That's all seeded itself from either last year or the year before. I can't remember. I definitely have seen coleus come back after 2 years. Not come back, but reseeded. See, look at that. That Verbena reseeded. See, it just pops up there out of nowhere. Hot-blooded Lantana, which I still highly recommend. But look at half the size, planted at the exact same time, and look what's the difference in conditions means. And this is, it still only gets parts on, not until 2 in the afternoon, but this guy starts losing it to that tree shade late, like this time of year. So he's just going to be more stunted than that one, but it always looks, it's just blooming all the time. And here is another one of these dwarf Lantana. Absolutely, this is one of my all-time favorite plants. Look at that. He looks like that the whole season, and he's not going to get much bigger than that ever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant him in here and with the other ones, and put them under that tarp with a heater, and I guarantee you, I bet I keep that over, because, you know, this is only like 30, 35 degrees, and it can't take it anymore. So in another month, all of this stuff will be gone, and I'll have pansies for the winter in both of these beds. Generally white or light purple or something like that. It's always nice to have those, especially around Easter. But this is saying goodbye for 2025. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and we'll keep in touch right through the off season. Nova Gardening signing out.